Hi there, welcome to O'Reilly Maths. In this video we're going to be looking at factors, multiples and primes. Now these come under the number strand of mathematics and we're going to be looking at the concept behind factors, multiples and primes. Now a lot of people mix up factors and multiples, which we're going to start with first. Okay, so if you can, I'd like you to pause the video and write down the factors for the number 8 on the left side of your copybook and the multiples, let's say the first 5 multiples for the number 8 on the right side. Pause the video and have a go at that now. Okay, so the factors are the numbers that multiply to give you the number 8. So for example, we could have 8 multiplied by 1. So 8 and 1 are factors of 8, because 8 multiplied by 1 is 8. We could have 4 multiplied by 2, because 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. And they are all the other, there are no other factors for 8. There's no other numbers, whole numbers that multiply to give 8. So the list of factors of 8 would be 1, 2, 4, and 8. So they are the factors of 8. Right, well the multiples of 8. What are the multiples? The multiples of 8 are the numbers you get when you multiply 8 by any whole number. So let's say we multiply 8 multiplied by 1, that's 8. 8 multiplied by 2 is 16. 8 multiplied by 3 is 24. 8 multiplied by 4 is 32. And 8 multiplied by 5 is 40. So the numbers that are the multiples of 8 would be 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. Now obviously there's a lot more multiples of 8. There's actually an infinite number, because you could keep going. You could go 8 times 6 and so on down the list. You could get lots and lots of different numbers. So there's an infinite list of multiples of any number, including 8. But I only asked for the first 5. Okay, pause the video now and try the same for the number 12. What are the factors of 12? All of the factors. And what are the multiples of 12? Okay, so the factors of 12. Well, 12 times 1 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And they are all the numbers that multiply, the whole numbers that multiply to give 12. So they are all the factors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So the factors of 12 are all of those numbers. Okay, what are the multiples of 12? Well, 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4 is 48. And 12 times 5 is 60. So the first 5 multiples of 12 are 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60. Now obviously again there's a lot more multiples of 12, an infinite amount actually, but I've only asked for the first 5. Okay, let's try the number 7. Pause the video now and have a go at finding the factors for 7 and the first 5 multiples for 7. Okay, so the factors for 7, the only factors I can think of for 7 are 7 times 1. That's it. So 1 and 7 are the factors of 7. Now, in case you did think 3.5 times 2 or 3.5 times 2, 3.5 is not a whole number and factors are always whole numbers. So 3.5 times 2, we don't count them as factors because the 3.5. So the only factors are 1 and 7. And the multiples of 7 then are 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 fours is 28. And 7 fives is 35. So the first 5 multiples of 7 are 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35. Now I'm sure you can do this mentally and just write out the list of numbers, and that's absolutely fine. Just remember there's a lot more multiples to 7, an infinite amount. So if you're asked for the first 5, just give the first 5, and so on. Now what I would like you to notice is that the only factors for 7 are the number 7 itself and 1. And any number that has factors of itself and 1 is called a prime number. It's a special type of number that we're going to learn a bit more about later on. So the number 7 is prime because it's got only 2 factors, the number 7 itself and the number 1. So any number that behaves like this is a prime number. Pause the video now and see if you can think of any other prime numbers. Okay, so let's try the number 18. Pause the video now, write down the factors for 18, all the factors you can think of, and the first 4 multiples of 18. Okay, so the factors of 18. Remember, factors are numbers which multiply to give 18. Well, I've got 18 times 1. I've got 9 times 2. I've got 6 times 3. Have I got anything else? No, I think that's it. So the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. That is the list of factors for the number 18. Let's look at the multiples. 18 multiplied by 1 is 18. 18 times 2 is 36. 18 times 3 is 54. And 18 times 4 is 72. So there's the first 4 multiples of 18. 18, 36, 54, and 72. Remember, it's an infinite list of multiples, but you were only asked in this case for the first 4. Okay, let's have a look at one more example. 13. Pause the video now, write down the factors for 13 and the multiples for 13. And tell me if you notice, or tell yourself if you notice anything. What kind of a number is 13? Okay, so the factors for 13 are 13 times 1. And that is it. It's only 13 and 1. They are the only factors for 13. So that tells us that 13 is a prime number, because the only factors are the number 13 itself and 1. Let's have a look at the multiples. 13 times 1 is 13. 13 times 2 is 26. 13 times 3 is 39. And 13 times 4 is 52. So there's the first 4 multiples of 13. (13, 26, 39, and 52). And remember that this list goes on forever. It's an infinite list of multiples, but you were only asked for the first 4. Okay, so in summary, what I'd like you to learn is the following. The factors of a given number are all the numbers that multiply to give that number. The multiples of a given number are the numbers got when we multiply the number by other whole numbers. And just remember, the list of multiples of a number is infinite. And finally, prime numbers. Prime numbers are numbers whose only factors are the number itself and 1. And I'd just like to point out that 1 is not a prime number. 2 is the first prime number, and 2 is also the only even prime number, because 2 times 1 is 2. 1 is a special case, it's not prime. So that is the concept behind factors, multiples, and primes.